Now, viewers, in fact, shifting a focus to more developments, it is important to note that how exactly this is being put in perspective as we speak of the Tardigrades experiment. Well, joining me live on the telecast is my colleague, Belly Thomas, at this point of time. Belly, as we are going to in fact also look into the details of the Tardigrades experiment and the statement that has been followed by the ISRO, which is mentioned about the significance of the studies being conducted in the Axiom-4 launch as well. What more do you pick up at this point of time as far as these studies, the experiments and the significance is concerned?
So, 14-day long stay and the expedition to the ISS under the Axiom-4 Group Captain Shukla has completed the tardigrade experiment, and this study focused on survival, revival and reproductive behavior in space. The study will provide valuable insights into the underlying biological mechanisms leading to the resilience of extremophile organisms in the microgravity environment, and has a potential applications on Earth, especially in the area of therapeutics. And explaining the details of the ongoing human physiology and biological investigations, the ISRO researchers said that the myogenesis study, which explores the effects of microgravity of human muscle regeneration, is progressing with planned interventions and recording of observations as per the experiment protocol by the Gaganyaan. In parallel, other Indian experiments for studying selected strains of microalgae and cyanobacteria under space conditions are ongoing and contributing to research on regenerative life support systems and crew nutrition. The team also explained that Shukla's human-machine interface and the cognitive testing was in progress. The ISRO team, as part of the electronic displays human research study, the Gaganyaan has carried out daily software-based cognitive and interface assessments. The study aims to optimize crew interaction with digital systems in the unique environment of space. Explaining the progress of one of Shukla's exciting experiments, the STEM demonstrations for outreach, ISRO said it is aimed to inspire students and the public by bringing the experiments experience of space closer to Earth through its outreach activities. And microgravity environment provides a great tool to demonstrate scientific principles. And during this mission, Shukla will also conduct science demonstrations on board the ISS and part of ISRO's planned scientific outreach activities. Back to you.
All right. In fact, thank you. Thank you very much, Belly, for sharing the latest details that you are in fact picking up and all these information that you have put in perspective. Now, joining me live on the broadcast is former ISRO scientist, Mr. Suresh Naik. Sir, appreciate you joining me at this point of time. Thank you very much for being with us on the telecast. As the Indian astronaut Shukla is on board, in fact, with the most ambitious and highly, in fact, ambitious projects that he is slated to connect, to also undergo and take the studies on, as he has also been connected to Earth through the ham radio stations and he has tried spoken. This is also pinning the milestone in how India does lead the space exploration, paving a way forward with how India will plan to vision to also in fact have a vision for the future space exploration plans. Mr. Naik, first up, I want to understand from you about these very experiments. And for a common person who is unable to understand the nitty-gritties of what significance they carry, how would you like to break it down for our viewers who are watching you and learning from you about these specific studies that are conducted and the very underlying importance that they carry, as once they complete, they will have a lot of contributions to be made on the studies back on Earth?
I think first let me explain the difference between the conditions in space and on Earth. You see, that is, one is of course microgravity in space, particularly inside the ISS, And second one is the radiation effect. There is a cosmic radiation, intergalactic radiation coming in space, and that is quite harmful to human beings and all biological things, right? And the third thing is in space, there is no sedimentation. Sedimentation means, you see, on ground, if you mix two liquids, let us say, one is heavier, that will settle down, and the lighter liquid will float. That is because of sedimentation process. And this sedimentation is not there in space because there is no gravity, right? So because of these three factors, this difference comes between the biological growth. Now, biological growth here, first we are talking about the plant or the future prospective crop growth in space. Suppose we are undertaking a long journey to Mars, which takes about 9 months, or let us say we are going to have a moon colony, then again these kind of factors will arise, and we should know how to grow food there. So that is why ISS is an experimental laboratory for us to carry out several such important experiments, because on Earth you cannot carry out these experiments. And the one is, of course, what we were talking right now, today, just now, is about biological experiment. Now, biological experiment, because when humans are going into the space for a long stay or journey, then the basic requirement comes first is the food, space food. And Indian Institute of Food in Bangalore is working on it along with ISRO, and they are right now giving preference to take the experiment on protein-rich foods like moong dal, methi, etc. And we are taking actually these seeds. Already Shukla has taken these seeds, and he has started sprouting, this particular seeds in space in ISS. And now what happens is this sprouting process itself is likely to get affected because of the factors which I explained in the space, microgravity particularly. So which we want to study how it grows, and what are the nutrients, whether there is a difference in that, etc. And what actually he is going to do, or ISRO is going to do, is once these crops, sprouted, the seeds have grown for 15 days in space in ISS, when Shukla comes back, he will bring these things with him back to Earth. And on Earth, then the experiments will be further conducted. What will be those experiments? You see, now there will be generations to generations of those basic crops which have been, sort of generated in space. Then we want to see what are its nutrients again compared to what is original on ground. Then next generation, like that. So this particular data will give us extremely important information about our capacity to grow space food, in space. And in future experiments, like we are going initially in Gaganyaan, and then further in Indian Space Station, right? So there, these will be carried forward. And another thing is generating the food on ISS from the human waste. Now, human waste means one is urine. Urine contains urea. Now, 90% of urine is converted into recycled pure water, which can be used for drinking. 10% of it, actually, you can extract urea. Now, urea is the raw material for human food. So that is converted to nitrogen, and from there you go to amino acids and other related proteins and foods, vitamins. Okay, so that is the way actually you can use human waste. Even the faces of the human waste can be used as a basic material to convert into food materials. There is a lot of process in that. I won't go into the detail of that today, but I tell you that these are the realities and not science fiction. And then those will be really useful for us to generate also, not only take the seeds from earth and grow food there, but generate inside the space, ISS, using human waste. So it is all self-sufficient. Like what happens.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.